This is the Tame Aperture podcast.
Open the pod bay doors, please, Hal.
Hello, Hal, do you read me?
Do you read me, Hal? Do you read me, Hal?
Affirmative, Dave. I read you. I read you. I read you.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
Come on down and jump some of this shit.
You'll always have that. Sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Welcome to the Tame Aperture podcast, where we talk about all things movies, from first-time directors, indie films, art house, and much, much more. Today, we're tackling the second half of the 2007 Grindhouse double feature, Robert Rodriguez's Planet Terror. The IMDb logline reads, after an experimental bioweapon is released, turning thousands into zombie-like creatures, it's up to a ragtag group of survivors to stop the infected and those behind its release. I'm Alan Martindale, editor and filmmaker, and along for the ride, as always, is our fearless leader, Gabe Vienendahl, filmmaker, film instructor, and film evangelist. Gabe, how are you doing? How did you enjoy the second half of the Grindhouse double feature?
Well, I think there's different options. There's the Grindhouse edits, theatrical edits. I don't know. I got to double check. Yeah, definitely came out on the upside here from the first view. Now we reversed them. I think when they released it, Planet Terror played first, and Death Proof played second.
Can you imagine, like, it opens with Planet Terror, and it's just fun and gore and zombies, and then it goes to Death Proof, and just, like, the wind is just knocked out of you, basically.
Yeah, like Death Knell.
Exactly. I mean, sure they did it because it was Tarantino, but I don't know, man. This one is
I want to know what
stronger.
that was like in the discussion. It's like, well, I should have second billing because of the first person you would think would be the more famous of the two.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
In some sense, maybe
yeah.
I'm way off here, but it's
Yeah.
like, oh, maybe they are the one drawing it in, and then there's just the, hey, if you want to stick around.
Yeah.
But they got it right here in terms of movies. They got it right because Planet Terror is a far superior movie in my mind than Death Proof.
It really is. I just think.
Starting off with hot takes, dude.
Dude, I mean, it's stronger. Just straight up it is. It's a stronger entry into the double feature. Before we go on, full spoilers, as always. So go watch the movie. I recommend this one. It's just, this is what I wanted Death Proof to be. This is what I thought Death Proof was going to be when we went into it. Lots of camp, lots of gore.
Yeah, I mean, they're not totally, but they're different types of stories, right? It seems a lot easier I shouldn't say that, reverse. It seems more efficient to tell a story about a viral, infection that spreads.
Right.
And then turns into kind of a zombie type film. That seems more exciting on its face.
Right.
Than what Tarantino's trying to do. Which is like it's a deeper thing. He's trying to get in there and like try to, make this, expression piece to the era and like really the dialogue and all the things. It's like, no, let's have a little fun and let's have women get their legs cut off and put a machine gun on the end.
Dude, it's so true. It's so true.
They're not really the same movie in my mind. I mean, they're trying to do this Grindhouse thing, but this movie just is so much more fun and engaging and enthralling. Like, this is a movie I'm already cheating into and it's like, I'm going to watch this movie again. I'll watch it again.
Absolutely.
Like Death Proof, I'm not really going to watch necessarily. So I don't know, just a different approach. And Rodriguez also, hell of a writer.
He is underrated as a writer. I've always thought that.
Because some of this stuff's just... he knows what he's doing in the dialogue, and it's so funny. I mean, I didn't think I was going to laugh this much in the movie. And the one-liners that come out of here...
It's so good.
From the very beginning, you go all the way to the beginning, we get Bruce Willis getting introduced in the film as this big general. And the first thing he asks the biochemical engineer is, "Where's my shit?" And
So
it's
good.
just like Rodriguez, and he knows he's being, obviously for the genre, he's being a little campy, but you have to be good at writing the right words to be campy in that way. And this is chock full of them. This whole movie's chock full of them.
This is a true homage to 70s exploitation films. This is what it is. Like, this is everything from, I mean, so Death Proof was good. It was solid. I
don't want to sound like I'm entirely shitting on it.
It wasn't okay, this is going to sound super strange. Tarantino tried too hard and not hard enough at the same time is how it felt like. That's what it felt like to me. Because he's writing dialogue that just doesn't matter, and he's not really leaning into the camp and the gore and the exploitation. It felt like he wanted to make an exploitation film, but just couldn't follow through. He couldn't commit fully. Whereas Rodriguez is like, fuck it, let's do this.
Like, if we're going to go in, we'll do it all the way.
Let's do it, yeah. And it was, I mean, Tom Savini getting ripped apart by like, that is perfect. Perfect. It couldn't get any better than that. I was so happy. As you know, I'm a huge fan of horror movies, horror culture, all that stuff. My favorite horror films are ones that have subtext behind it and are trying to, deliver a message. But there's a lot of fucking fun when you just say, no, we're not doing any of that, and we're just going to go crazy, balls to the walls, insane.
Now, then there's a point of discussion there, because the thing is, which is all true, what you said, but also, like, I actually think he's good at developing character relationships in the chaos that matter.
It's true.
Like, I actually think, and we'll go through this, but like the brothers is a great character. You almost tear up a little. You're like, oh, these two guys they hated each other. They were at each other's necks, and then now they're going to die together, and they're relinquishing all their fears together as a team. Like, I don't know. There's little things of that throughout, and we'll dive into some of those more character relationships. But it's like, it's not just that. Like, he's good at building characters that you kind of care about, that you're rooting for. That's the difference. Like, when I look at Death Proof, I go, well, I'm not really rooting for any of these characters.
Right.
With this, I'm like, I like Rose McGowan's character. I like Freddie Rodriguez's character. I'm just attaching to all the characters, and I'm going, I care for them. I want to see if they succeed or not.
I didn't expect that at all. None of it. I expected it to be just gory, fun, campy, maybe some bad acting on purpose. I did not expect to actually care about the character. Like, Josh Brolin's wife, battered wife, I like feeling for her the whole time. The whole thing is just, I wasn't ready for not that I wasn't ready. I just wasn't expecting it. And it just made me love it more, because it would have been easy just to say, forget it. And there is a part where he really does just say, fuck the story. We don't need all the details. We're just going to like cut and just not give you important plot points, which to me, and I know I was, when that happened, I was curious, because I know you, and you are huge on story. Story's everything to you. So when they do that, and the thing flashes like, oh, reel is missing, apologies, and then they come back, and so much plot has already progressed.
Here's where it works. It works because he set it up. If he didn't set it up, the 3 reels before that, then you can't skip the 5th reel or whatever it is in the lineup.
Right.
And so for those that are listening, what happens in a theatrical distribution, especially back in the days in theaters, they had big old reels, and usually a feature film is anywhere from 5 to 6 reels, and the projectionist is changing those reels every 20 minutes or so. And it's not like he's just rotating through them, making sure that it links from the reel 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6. And so there's a moment in the movie where they go missing reel.
Apologies. Sign the management.
And it's like a stylistic, 35 millimeter print screening thing that's happening. And it's like, talk to management or whatever.
Yeah.
That works.
Throughout the whole movie, up until the missing reel, Ray, who is Freddie Rodriguez's character, and Sheriff Hogg, I think is how you pronounce it. They have tension, and the sheriff is always busting his balls and trying to arrest him, and really giving him a hard time. And then once you come back from the missing reel, that relationship is not only repaired, but now the sheriff has nothing but utmost respect for him because we learned about Ray's background, which is a key character point for a character that we're following. But honestly, it kind of made me think like, yeah, I don't really give a shit what the background was. Like, obviously he's trained. Obviously he did something. I don't need to know the nitty-gritty details.
We just know that he's a badass.
He's a badass.
And it's implied.
I just loved that they come back from the missing reel and shit's all blown up, and all the survivors are now at a different location.
People have bloody faces.
We missed a lot. But you know what? It doesn't even fucking matter because that's the fun of what they're trying to do here. Yeah. It's the flaws. It's all that old school type of filmmaking that actually probably could have happened and probably did happen back in the day. Like, to me, that this is how you do an homage.
Yeah.
This is it.
This was one of the questions I wrote down was, did the missing reel gag make it better or worse?
I think it made it better.
But based on what we're talking about here, it made it better because Rodriguez did it so well.
The problem is, like, it's hard to really break this movie down because there's not much there, but there's a lot there at the same time. Like, there's just so much going on, and it's just a blast, man.
I mean, part of the breakdown would be like, do we a question to you is, we categorize this as like a not perfect. I always hesitate to use that word, but this is really well done. Like Grindhouse homage, or is it just homage, or is it just over the top madness?
I'd say,
you know what I mean? Like, what's that balance?
I'd say both. Like, I think it really does pay tribute to that era, but it kind of brings some other stuff to the table.
I was going to say, the follow-up question is, do modern audiences get it today? Like, this is made 20 years ago almost.
True.
Does this land? Because think about it this way. You got exploitation films of the 60s and 70s, okay? Maybe early 80s, right? Then we jump 20 years, this movie gets made, and we can look back at the 60s and 70s as a 20-year gap. And it's like, oh, yeah, we get it. But now we're 20 years after that. Does it make sense today? Do audiences understand it? Do people understand it? Does outside of the demographic that we live in, does that resonate?
I don't know. It's hard for me to say because it does with me, but I'm a very specific type of
if
audience.
We go a 20-year generation gap and we go 20 years between the 25-year-olds.
If I show my kids who are in my oldest kids who are in their 20s, I don't know if they're gonna. They won't appreciate it like I did.
Yeah. So it is a time thing.
That's a good point.
It is a time thing though, from the perspective of like in 2007, it made a lot of sense.
Right.
Whereas now, even 20 years later, for us it does, but it doesn't hit younger audiences the same way. The homage is not as prevalent for those younger audiences because they're so detached from that other era.
I think if they were to watch it, they would know that it's an homage. It's paying homage to something, but I don't think they'd have any sort of connection to that at all.
Yeah,
like they wouldn't be able to say whether or not it was a effective homage. What did you think of the setting? Like, I don't know. You've seen From Dusk Till Dawn, right?
Yeah.
To me, that's another phenomenal Rodriguez movie.
It's fun.
But it's very similar in tone to where it's a bunch of survivors in kind of a rundown place trying to survive the night. I mean, what did you think of the setting of a Texas barbecue?
My immediate reactions going to TCM.
Yes.
In my mind is like the attachment to Texas Chainsaw.
Of course, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? When you think, especially when you see the brother who's the barbecue chef.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, does he? And he even references like, he's trying to find that master ingredient for a sauce.
Yep.
And the master ingredient to a sauce is the blood.
It's blood.
And it happens to be his own blood.
Yeah.
I feel like Rodriguez is doing a little touch to TCM there. Going,
Love it.
Hey, like that's a little.
Okay.
You know?
I
Human
figured
connection.
you'd pick up on that, but I didn't know if that, because I'm such a huge fan of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that I didn't know if that was me trying to shoehorn that in there. When
I feel like
there.
I feel like that's a Rodriguez thing, and I think he does it pretty effectively. I think also like in terms of like Texas and things like, I mean, does it? I don't know that the location plays a huge pivotal role in it outside of the barbecue story.
Yeah.
But you could play that anywhere. It feels
For
like
sure.
barbecue is Kansas City, it's Memphis, it's
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be Texas.
Well, he's from Texas too.
And so I
He's
think
from
there's the
Austin,
thing
so
there, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, like let's say you knew that this was a zombie film and you walked into it. What are you thinking? Are you on board? Cuz there was a couple years back there was some pretty severe zombie fatigue from horror fans, from everybody. And I think it really stemmed from like the whole who's the real monster, us or them type of thing that was played out in every, Walking Dead, every single zombie film.
But here's the thing to that. So that's a good question. But I think this is a little ahead of its time. Because if you think about Walking Dead, that's later in the game. It comes later on. You think about other prevalent, like more modernistic zombie movies, 28 Days Later, Shaun of the Dead, even comedically.
Right.
Those, I feel like Rodriguez, if you look at Dusk to Dawn and this, it's like he's a little ahead of his time.
I think so.
In the pocket of that era of like zombie, like understanding the zombie, phenomenon.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he's a little ahead.
I think he is too. These are fun
Now
zombies.
it's like World War Z and Walking Dead and all these big things, but it's like what before George Romero or other bigger things in the 80s or even earlier 70s,
Right.
like there was a pocket where zombies was. I'm trying to think, and you can correct me.
This feels like almost close, and I don't know if you've ever seen Return of the Living Dead, which is just a fantastic, the most campy 80s zombie movie ever. It's where the brains came into the picture with zombies. Like this feels a lot more like that, where it's fun and stupid and like absolutely not, not anchored in any sort of reality whatsoever. And to me, that I love that shit, man. Like, give me more of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care about people trying to like scavenge food.
Yeah, it's interesting because I feel like what I love about what Rodriguez does is he doesn't make it a worldwide pandemic.
Right.
He makes it isolated. So you talk about Texas or like isolated people.
Right.
It's like we're living with them.
Right.
And we're not worried about the larger repercussions yet. And that allows me as a viewer to go, this is cool. This is fun and I can enjoy it and have fun and laugh. Sometimes, look at World War Z or the other things that are coming out. It's like, well, that's too big.
Yes.
It's like we're
Yep.
going to, and they're good movies.
Right.
But it's like, this is what's nice about this movie is that it's an isolated event. It probably has repercussions, but we don't care about them. In the
Doesn't matter.
In the movie, we don't.
Doesn't matter.
Right?
Yeah.
We're just enjoying the moment. So, yeah, I think he's a little ahead of his time in the sense of if you look when this came out, like he's got a good emphasis on the zombie viral, world. The apocalyptic world that's fun.
It is fun. And I do think this actually is, the more I think about it, an homage to Return of the Living Dead. I'm gonna make you watch that for probably
I
for
haven't
horror
seen
month
that
or
one.
something.
I've seen Night of the Living Dead,
right, and this
but
is
I have not seen Return.
They had, just to get a little nerdy for a minute, there was a between the producer and George Romero, they had an argument, disagreement, and so they kind of split ways. And the producer, I can't remember his name, he got the Living Dead name legally; he could use that, and so he went and made Return of the Living Dead, which is anyway. We'll talk about that because that's a movie I'm definitely gonna recommend it.
But without George on board, was the movie good?
It's fantastic
Yeah,
because
so
it
still hit.
It was so campy and dumb. Like, it's so dumb.
Like different because I don't know that Night of the Living Dead is meant to be dumb.
Night of the Living Dead's not.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So a different detachment from that.
Right. In fact, that trilogy, Night of the Living Dead,
Is there another one then?
Day of the Dead, or Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead are very serious.
Yeah.
Like, they're very serious, where Return of the Living Dead goes completely opposite direction, and it's more like this. We'll watch it. I didn't mean to go off on a tangent, but we'll watch it.
I think that's a fair, though. It's
point.
like a fair comparison, like bringing those worlds in. Cult classic or cult level weird? I know your answer.
I mean, it's kind of both, man. I think this should be a cult classic. I don't think it is.
It's not.
But it should be.
I actually agree. That's a great way to put it, because I was thinking about this going, I think it's kind of underrated as that. I think that I wonder in some sense if it got lost behind Death Proof, because Tarantino is Tarantino and Rodriguez is Rodriguez. But it's like Tarantino, if you're looking at it from an outsider perspective, non-filmmaker, probably has a bigger aura.
Right. And I think when this came out, the big draw was that it was a double feature.
Yeah.
Like, that was the thing. Like, we're going to do this novel thing that you haven't seen forever, and it wasn't really about the films. And I think if Rodriguez would have made this on his own, I think this would be more of a cult classic. I think it would be more appreciated, for sure.
Yeah.
Because I was surprised I'd never seen it.
That's what I mean, because I know you're into that genre even more than I am.
Yeah.
And I have seen this movie. I've seen it now again. And I thought, I can't believe Alan has not seen this film. Because it's like it just lines up and hits those buttons.
It hits everything. Everything I love. Let's talk a little bit about, because Tarantino does make his cameo again. Let's talk a little bit about what you thought of, maybe not his performance. We've made it pretty clear how we feel about his acting ability. But when you saw him, he was wearing the gas mask.
Can I do the question? Before you get to the question,
Yeah.
Can I just say about Tarantino and his acting?
Okay.
Don't do it.
Don't.
And I know this has been a big debate across the universe.
Right now, it's
and
big.
Tarantino's like, oh, this and that. Matthew Lillard, Paul Dano, blah, blah, blah. Tarantino, let me tell you, as a podunk independent filmmaker, don't do it.
Don't do it.
You are a great filmmaker.
He is.
But this is me just right to Tarantino in his face.
Okay. Okay.
You are a great filmmaker. And some of my favorite movies over the last few years. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is in my top 10 over the last 10 years. It just hits for me, whatever way. Great filmmaker. Let me tell you one thing. Don't act. Don't try and act. If you want to do it, do a Hitchcock. Do a Hitchcock version of it. Hide in the background among 100 extras and just let me Where's Waldo you.
Yep.
But don't act.
In and out. Do not have any
Be the
speaking.
guy that enters or exits the bus.
No dialogue.
In the
Please,
background.
for the love of God, no dialogue.
So anyway, fantastic filmmaker. I mean that. But at the other side, don't act. Sorry. I had to get that out.
And I have a hard time believing that anyone but Tarantino wrote his dialogue. That is the most Tarantino bullshit dialogue I've ever heard in my life. And if you have a talented actor like Travolta or Samuel L. Jackson, they can pull it off. They're fucking fantastic. Tarantino cannot pull, I seen me a stripper with one breast. I ain't never seen me a stripper with one leg. Like that, I guarantee you he wrote that. And he thought he sounded so fucking cool.
Well, he might have wrote it. Rodriguez might have, but you're in the sense that you're right. Like if it's in the hands of another actor, like a Bruce Willis,
right,
or Kurt Russell,
right.
It's like it's gonna land different.
It's gonna land exactly.
So
exactly.
He may or may not have written it, but I
think that just sounds so Tarantino. It just sounds so. That's exactly.
I don't know, because I mean Rodriguez wrote a bunch of one-liners in here that I laughed my ass off on. What's funny about Tarantino's writing, though, is like I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying.
It's that jive, like it's wannabe, like speaking.
But then he goes
black.
and writes Inglourious Bastards, and the first 20 minutes of that is not that style. So as a writer, he's super talented. I would just say I agree more. I get what you're saying, and I also say that in the hands of another actor, it might fly.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just like anything. Like you can have a dog shit script, and if it's a good actor, if you have actual talented performers, they're gonna make it come alive. When you see Tarantino and he's wearing the gas mask when he comes on screen, but you know it. I mean, immediately I'm like,
100%. You know by his gait and his walk.
And normally, and I feel bad doing this. I think if he hadn't said all the shit about Paul Dano and Matthew Lillard, I probably wouldn't be as bitter about seeing him on screen. But it's the second I see his eyes, I'm like, oh fuck, here we go.
I don't know. I mean, it's just interesting. I mean, we can both agree on this, which is basically he's a workman's actor. So here's what I mean by that is like, I'm not in this particular scene, in this particular movie and what it represents and what it is, he's a workman.
Yeah.
I could go in and do the lines.
Right.
It's fine.
Right.
It is. Is it great? Definitely not in terms of acting. But does it just keep the thing going? Sure.
Right. Well, and here's the thing. In a film full of extremely campy acting, Tarantino couldn't even pull off campy. You know, like, I don't want this.
It does feel like he tries too hard sometimes.
Yes, I don't want this to become like a whole critique of his acting, because we don't know him for his acting. We know him for his filmmaking, and he's fantastic, like you said, no doubt. But it says something that, like, in a film where it's supposed to be all bad acting, he can't even act bad enough to be a bad actor. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
I'll say this though for the scene. You're not off the rails, and we'll stop though, because we don't want to make it. We don't want to take the limelight from the movie and make it all about Tarantino. I will say this: it ends hilariously.
It does. There's a lot of foreshadowing that is in this movie, but like it foreshadows what's going to happen seconds later.
Yeah.
Like if a deer runs out in front of you, you got to hit it, or you're going to swerve, and something swerves and like runs out in front of him. Like there's so many instances where they say like you're going to shoot your head off with that gun. And then the kid shoots his head off 2 seconds later.
That scene was kind of gnarly.
That was gnarly. But that's when I knew, I was like, oh, we're in. We are totally in, dude.
I actually, rewatching it again, I thought, oh, is it? Why is she, first off, why is she giving her, like, it's weird because, like, you kind of get it. You've seen the world. It's apocalyptic.
Right.
Everyone's coming down. You're like, I got to tell my son to protect himself. However, how old is that kid? Do we know?
I have no idea.
Because I feel like that matters.
9, maybe?
Yeah, is that old enough?
I don't think so.
I don't either.
Especially when he's never.
He's just getting out of Nerf guns.
Exactly. Well, what I loved about it is at this point you think that a portion of this story is going to be the mom trying to save the child in an apocalypse with zombies everywhere, and you think that this is going to be the dynamic that we're going to see with those two. And the second she says you're going to shoot your head off with that gun, so don't point it at yourself, I'm like, oh, he's going to do it. But I didn't expect it to happen immediately.
That's where I got twisted. Was like, is this going to happen? And then all of a sudden he shoots himself and kills himself. It was pretty dark. Now, here's the thing, though. It's dark in the sense of what it is, if you think of it in a real way, what it represents.
Right.
But in the movie itself, it's like, sounds so bad. I have 3 kids, by the way. But it's comedic.
It is. Because it's not a serious movie.
Because that's the thing, and here's where I think it's not a serious movie, and that's the thing is like the style. This is where he succeeds.
Yeah,
I think more if we're comparing, and I don't know that we should, but it is what it is.
Right.
Than Tarantino, because the style of the movie outweighs the story, even though the story's really good. Like, his story's really good. Planet Terror story's really good. Character's good. Everything's moving right, but the style still outweighs it. You know what I mean? So if you're looking at what do they call those? Not the
like
scale.
A pendulum?
Like a scale, the scales that you weigh.
Yeah.
This is dumb.
Like a seesaw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the style just outweighs it enough to keep the levity going. Oh, well, we know it's not serious.
Right. And right when you get sucked back into the story, towards the end with Naveen Andrews, who is Saeed from Lost, if you've ever seen Lost,
Which I love. By the way, side note, love Lost.
Love it. He's playing a scientist who's trying to find an antidote to the virus. And so you think, we're towards the end of the movie. Now you think the goal is to get the antidote because he's got to go back to his lab or something to get it. And you're like, okay, so now he's become a main character again. He's very important. And then, bam, head blown off.
Head blown off.
And it's like, so right when I get sucked back into the story, it's like, no, don't take this fucking seriously. Here's some cool gore effects. Like, here's some practical gore effects.
Yes. And there's so many fun characters in this. And it's like, we're not even getting it. There's so many. We haven't even talked about Bruce Willis.
Right?
And I know his part is smaller, but it's like, we haven't even talked about so many things happening in the movie. And I think that's the genius for me with what Rodriguez is doing. There's so many things happening. You know what it feels like? This movie to me feels like going to an amusement park.
Yes.
And I just don't know where to go. That's
so true.
So anyway, yeah, we haven't talked about Bruce Willis or elements of the story and all these other things that are happening. And that's because of those things like you just mentioned with Saeed. I'm calling him Saeed.
Yeah, you can call him Saeed.
He's the biochemical engineer.
Yeah.
You think he's part of the story, and now you're like, and you like him too. He's a good actor,
Right, he
and
is.
so you're just following him along, and then all of a sudden his head gets blown off.
We didn't, to your point, we haven't even mentioned Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin hasn't even been mentioned.
Josh
yet.
Brolin is in this movie. Like, it's so good. Such a good villain. So fun.
Good.
So fun. The whole thing is so goddamn fun, man.
What's the deal with Brolin? And what's the deal with all the doctors? Why are they so just nonchalant about these weird things happening?
The one doctor who was just like getting excited about seeing all the boils and the lesions and
some of those lesions in the photos in the background are nasty, dude.
So gross. It's
like there's just so much happening, and this is an amusement park of a movie, and but also it's grounded somewhere.
Yeah.
And so like when you talk about going to that park, it's like, well, I'm here with, this is a dumb way to analogize it. Is that even a word? It's not it's not a word. To make an analogy of it, which is like when you go to the park, you have your family, you're rooted in that experience, but all these things are happening. And so for this movie, it's like, it's just everywhere, all over the map. And it's like, it's all rooted in the character relationships. I'm still following Rose McGowan. I'm still following Ray, and I still care. So I don't know. Just really well put together, fun, exciting. There's 1,000 turns here going on, you know.
One of my favorite lines was when Freddie Rodriguez says, you know, you got to quit crying over spilled milk. And Rose McGowan looks at him and says, I have one leg. So funny. Like, just that it's brilliantly written. It knows what it is. It doesn't try too hard. And another thing I liked is, and typically when we talk about marketing for films, we're talking about it because it's fucked something up, or they screwed something up, or they didn't do it right. But to me, they marketed her machine gun leg. Like, that was the whole marketing campaign for this film. And it doesn't happen until the very end. But the whole time I'm waiting for it. Like, I'm excited because I know it's so dumb and I can't wait to see her just blow some shit up with her leg. Like, it's just, it hits everywhere.
And it wasn't all just computer generated. Like, she wore the green sock on her leg and it was digitally removed later. You know, so she still has to act to the idea that she has one leg.
Right.
And so there was a lot of cool, like, practical stuff going on there. The gun was sometimes physically mounted to like a rig, and it gave the actors like something proper, you know, to react to. And I just pulled up a couple notes here too. Like, Rodriguez wanted it to feel like a cheap, outrageous Grindhouse effect, so they intentionally avoided perfect VFX polish.
Love it.
Which is there.
That's how it should be. And he actually used some of the grimy film stock looking stuff to aid in the story. Like, you would see it kind of pulsating and flickering even more when tensions got higher. And that was such a cool thing that I don't think most people would have even thought to do.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the difference between this and Death Proof was Death Proof just, it almost leaned too heavily on jump cuts and like all these different types of stylistic approaches. What I liked that Rodriguez did here was like he actually, if you think about it, and I'd have to rewatch it again, but he had like tons of coverage. It was all over, everywhere.
So much coverage. I did notice that.
But the editorial's not really, there is jump cuts, but it's still traditional.
Right.
In a movie sense.
Right.
Minus a few little pockets.
Right.
And I liked that. He wasn't like, I'm going to lean in heavy on like jump cut, down, blah, blah, I'm going to do all this. Like, I'm going to keep it traditional in the storytelling grammatically from an editorial standpoint. And I thought that was pretty cool. And I think it actually worked pretty well.
Well, and of course, it being Rodriguez, he was a co-editor on this as well, because he does everything. I mean, that's his thing, right? Like
He wrote, directed, shot as cinematographer.
Yep.
Which, by the way, Tarantino also shot Death Proof,
which I didn't expect, but
it was fine. But here's the difference: this was shot way better.
Way better. Well, I mean,
no offense to
Rodriguez has a lot more experience.
Yes,
because that's kind of his thing. Like he himself by himself has influenced so many people to go to film school.
Yeah, he has.
And
I was going to say,
movies.
Wrote, directed, shot as cinematographer, edited, and don't forget, he composed the score.
Yes.
Coming from like writing, directing, and editing a short film myself, the fact that he shot it and composed the score, he's insane.
He is insane. I mean, he just must not sleep ever.
I don't know how he does it.
Real quick, and I'm not expecting you to have seen every single one of his films, but of the films you've seen, where would you put this in his filmography?
He has what's interesting about Rodriguez though is he has a pretty diverse set of like a portfolio. His portfolio is pretty diverse.
Right.
And what I mean by that, he's done quite a bit of kind of studio films. You look at Spy Kids. That's one that stands out to me. And I haven't seen all of his work.
Sin City.
Sin City, which probably to me, and then Machete. Man. Yeah, he did Predators way back in 2010.
That's right. I'm just going through his IMDb.
But to me, the one that stands out the most, this one's actually quite up there. But I would have to say for me, the one that I love and kind of just admire the most is probably Sin City. Yeah, I think that's kind of number one for me on the list. He's just done so many things, and he started from basically doing his own. He did Once Upon a Time in Mexico, all those things. So, man,
it's hard.
I gotta say, Sin City is there. That's kind of.
I think that's probably my favorite as well. This is
The Faculty's pretty good though.
I have never seen The Faculty.
Pretty good.
I didn't know that he did that until just now. And this is not an easy thing for me to do. I'm putting this right on par with From Dusk Till Dawn, because I love that movie so much, and this is the same thing. Like it leans into what it is, it knows what it is, and it's non-apologetic whatsoever, and I fucking love that. So that's where I'm putting it. So I'm going Sin City, and then From Dusk Till Dawn / Planet Terror. So, as always, I went on to Letterboxd, and I found some reviews. I just have 3. I thought they were kind of funny. Here's 4 stars by someone named Dirk H. It says, I can handle gross zombies. What the fuck? I can handle Tarantino bleeding empty from his ass. But I just gotta ask, how the fuck does she pull the trigger?
I thought the same thing.
I think everyone does. But doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't. This is. I mean, wait a minute. You've been watching this absurdity happen the whole time, and then she gets her leg. I mean, come on. Everything's been absurd.
But it crossed your mind.
It did cross my mind.
Exactly.
Especially the biggest one was when she jumped the wall.
Yes.
And I was like, I was like, wait, what?
So good.
But that's when you know you made a good movie, when the audience, in this
Just
case
buy
myself, I just was like, I don't care.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So he's not wrong. Dirk, you're not wrong.
Not wrong. 2.5 stars by Adam Bolt. Quentin Tarantino starring in his iconic role as rapist number 1. That is literally his character name.
Wait, say it again. I missed the second,
Okay.
the first half.
Quentin Tarantino starring in his iconic role as rapist number 1.
That's a deep breath, and then I go to the opening credits, and it says executive producer Harvey Weinstein.
Yep, both Weinsteins were...
So here we are loving the movie, and it's like, okay,
Well,
well,
I mean, I'd be lying if I didn't say the whole time I knew that this was produced by the Weinsteins and Rose McGowan is starring in it, and we know just how terribly she was abused by them, or by Harvey Weinstein. So it's very sad. Like the whole thing is, it made me sad. What Weinstein did was so fucking awful. Like he was
Horrific.
next tier evil, that it did make me sad to see Rose McGowan knowing probably what went into this production. So yeah, now let's go back to
also, why is he so involved? Why would he be so involved?
he was involved. He was incredibly
Because a lot. I just mean that for those listening that aren't as familiar, a lot of times executive producers aren't maybe as heavily involved in the day to day. But it sounds like he probably was.
He was overly involved in absolutely every film he was attached to.
Right.
He had, I mean, let's forget all the sexual abuse stuff that is really we know him for, and he should be known for because he's a piece of shit. But if you didn't know that stuff, you would still know he's a piece of shit because of the way he treated people in general.
Right.
And his filmmakers, his actors, everything. He treated them like his slaves, basically. He was just a disgusting monster of a human being, look-wise, personality-wise. He's just a bad person.
He's Jabba the Hutt.
100%. He's Jabba the Hutt. That's exactly right. Yeah. And look, like I said, if I was Tarantino and I'm a producer on this, I want to get in all the gore stuff. Like I want to do that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's fine. Whatever.
It's fine. It is what it is.
I mean, I don't know how to think about Tarantino, and I don't.
I know.
Because then I think about it. Like, is that how he is? That's all. And great. I just went off on a rant about how like he's a great filmmaker, and then I go, is he like that to women and treat people that way? I don't know. I don't think so.
I think we would have heard about that because he was.
I feel like maybe
he was pretty
although
closely
Uma
tied.
Thurman has never worked with him again since Kill Bill.
That's
So
true.
I'm just saying.
That's
it's
true.
like, I don't know.
But again, like I
That's speculation, but
it's at some point we're not going to be able to enjoy anything, and I'm trying to do my best in life to separate the art from the artist as much as I can, but there are limits, obviously.
that's my point. Like, do we cancel Picasso? Like culturally,
Right,
it's like
right.
we all revere that in a whether we like the art or not.
Right.
We know he's an asshole.
Right.
He did a lot of shitty things.
I do think it needs to be held. Like people do need to talk about this stuff, but I think it's far bigger in scope than we could ever even try and scratch the surface of. Half Star by Sloan Yeehaw is the name. Automatic half star for making me think about Quentin Tarantino's penis.
I mean, I don't ever want to think of that.
Well, you had to you saw it dripping.
I'm glad it was.
I'm glad it was too. Okay, those are all the Letterboxd reviews. Those are the funniest ones I could find. I love this movie. I thought it was fun, man. I there's not much more I can say that I haven't said already. It's just it hit everything for me. And
Surprised you hadn't seen it.
I'm shocked I hadn't seen it. Everything said, I'm going to give it 7.8 pulsating boils. And actually, I'm wondering if I need to go higher than that.
7.8.
I'm going to go 7.9. 7.9 pulsating boils. The more I talk about it, the more I love it.
Yeah, this is a exploitation. This is a love letter to exploitation films. I think, do we compare the two films in the sense of like, do we go Death Proof versus Planet Terror?
I don't know how you can't compare them.
Yeah.
Because they were released this way.
Well, they're released that way, and also the makeup of that genre. It's scratched film prints. It's missing reels. It's overexposed frames. It's cheap effects in that sense, So I don't know. I feel like this one turns it up.
Yes.
And so like if I'm really like if you're looking for exploitation, this is it.
This is it.
This is an 11 from that.
Absolutely.
I'm not grading it that yet, but
right.
I'm just saying like if you're looking at all the elements of it, this is an 11. You took exploitation and said, "Yeah, I'll do that, and then I'll do this." You know what it is? It's fucking Spinal Tap. He goes, "Yeah, but this goes to 10.
This goes to 11.
But this goes to 11." Like that's what Rodriguez did.
That's what it is. I mean, if you're going to make if you're going to create a film that's a love letter to this genre, there is no point at all where you should ever pull back. And I almost think that's probably why he did the missing reel thing, because I think that would have been pulling back just a little bit to give us more story that we really didn't need. Like, in order to get from point A to point B, he's going to have to give us some exposition. And you don't fucking want exposition. You want exploitation.
Yeah, he was in the editing room because he edited, but he also had, there was another editor.
I think there was, yeah.
And he went, but it goes to 10. And then Rodriguez says, but this goes to 11.
This goes to 11.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like that's what he did. So it's not just I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly. It's not just like aesthetic. It's commitment. It's like I keep referring. If you don't know, go watch Spinal Tap. It's a great film. But he just keeps saying it over and over. But go to 11. But the amplifier only goes to 10. I don't care. Just go.
Why not make 10 louder, and then you could make, and then that'll be the loudest. This goes to 11.
Yeah, but this goes to 11. Yeah. And that's what this film does.
Yeah.
So I think Rodriguez hits it in that sense. So in terms of, you had it at a 7.8?
7.9. I upped it.
Oh, you upped it 1 point.
Yep.
0.1.
I did. That 0.1, that makes all the difference.
I don't know how to feel about this because I just loved this movie. And I'm not like, if we were to sit side by side and you and I were to go, who is the horror expert? It's you. If we were to sit side by side and who's the exploitation expert, to be honest, it's you. I feel like 7.9's low.
You know
dog.
what? Here's what I was thinking. Let me give a little nuance to this shit.
Okay, that's
and
good.
Here's the thing. Here's my problem. We've done this. We've done so many episodes. We reviewed so many movies that I'm starting to overthink it. Because I think
you shouldn't. I
gave this movie this, and I don't like it quite as much as that, but which is stupid. Yeah. Honestly, okay. I'm resetting.
100%.
I'm resetting everything. I'm giving this 8.5 pulsating boils. I can't overthink it because there's so much history in this podcast that I can't compare it to the other films. I don't know. I gave Barbarian 9.4 bottles of milk and Weapons 8.9 locks of hair, and those are two of my favorite movies.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
So what are you at? Final call.
8.5 pulsating boils.
Damn, dude. So when we chose to do Death Proof, and then I was like, hey, let's do Planet Terror. I remember Planet Terror. I remember, and I mean this, I remember liking Planet Terror more
You said that, yep.
than Death Proof when I first saw them. Now, I've only rewatched them, and then when I rewatched Planet Terror, I was like, oh, Alan's going to fucking love this.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, to be honest. I'm right in that pocket. So you came in at 8.5?
8.5.
Yeah, I'm right there. I'm going to come in 8.4 cherry darlings.
Yes.
You know, I don't know. Can we go back and I'll edit some of this. What do you have it there? I don't know if you do. What did we give Death Proof as a comparable?
You gave it 6.3 nacho plates.
Yeah, that was disgusting.
And I gave it 7.1 feet.
Yeah, also disgusting.
Yeah, super disgusting.
The most disgusting things ever.
Yeah.
Nacho plates and
that's why I'm like, 7.9. I like this way more than Death Proof.
yeah, and you came at 8.5. I came at 8.4. We upped these two, and not to make the comparison, but because they were double featured.
Right.
What I mean, 1-2 sentences takeaway on the review. What made it land for you? Like, what was that difference maker?
I think Rodriguez just gave in to the exploitation, whereas Tarantino tried to, but he couldn't un-Tarantino it, if that makes sense.
100%. 100% agree. Rodriguez, in this case, for me, better writer.
Yes, without a doubt.
And
Hands
that's not
down.
a knock on Tarantino, because he's a great writer.
Absolutely.
We've seen what he's done.
That's what he's most famous
for this, nailed it.
Yep.
Cared about the characters. He kept the story relevant
Yep.
while also balancing the absurdity of the exploitation.
He did the impossible.
If you miss out on Death Proof, you'll live. But I actually think you should watch Planet Terror.
I agree.
As a film,
I agree.
you should watch it. It's fun.
I'm just trying to think, like back in 2007, you sit down to a double feature, and the first one is if it was Planet Terror.
They say it was Planet Terror.
Okay. You sit there and you're like, and it's fucking awesome, right? And you're having a great time. You know what you're getting into. And then you're like, well, shit, dude, Quentin Tarantino's the bigger name. If this one was this good, what is Death Proof going to be? Because that's Tarantino, and he's like A-list, you know, and then you get disappointed. Like, to me, I would have walked out extremely disappointed, I think.
By the way, if I got an 8.5 on my short film right now, I'd be
Well, you have.
ecstatic.
You have.
So
You have. It's won awards, man.
Rodriguez is fantastic. Go watch Planet Terror.
You can also listen to our review of Death Proof and everything else over at tameaperture.com, or also, what is it? Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. YouTube, you've been killing it on YouTube, by the way. Throwing up old
go
clips.
check out some clips. The last one I put up, Alan was shitting on Kubrick, so
Yeah.
just saying.
If you want to see a little rage bait, go over to YouTube and subscribe to us there. I'm going to make a push for that. Go subscribe to us on YouTube, because that's kind of the big thing for podcasts now. We don't even film this anymore, and it's still like
I would like to, but yeah, we don't.
we would. It's just a
There's
lot
no
more.
need.
It's just a lot more work, you know.
If you guys go subscribe, maybe we will.
Maybe we
and
will.
you can see our ugly
Let us know.
faces more.
Yeah, that's what you need to see. But yeah, go head over to tameaperture.com. Hit us up. Let us know what you thought of Death Proof and Planet Terror, because I'd love to get the conversation started. For Gabe, the film evangelist, I am Alan. This is Tame Aperture signing off.
The Tame Aperture podcast is produced by Dutch Angle Pictures in association with Studio B Productions. Listen, watch, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, and YouTube.